Stockport County have just sealed the League Two title. We're watching it on SCFC Live. I can still see it, actually. I've still got it up as we're live now. County have absolutely done it. They're absolutely fantastic in typical County fashion. 5-2 could have easily ended up letting it slip near the end. To be honest, I had a few worries that possibly could have happened when they got it back to 4-2. But I tell you what, County, Ethan Pye stood up with that header, and that absolutely sealed it. I'm not too sure really what to say really at the moment. To be honest, I am absolutely delighted with this win. It's something that I thought was going to happen at the beginning of the season. To be honest, I did predict us to win the title, but for it to actually happen, to actually see what I'm seeing and watching here now, and I'm sure other people at home have obviously seen the same thing if you are at home. And for those fans who have travelled to Notts County tonight, absolutely fantastic. And you can see the joy from everyone there. I mean, challenge on the screen now, absolutely fantastic. Brilliant getting. I mean, what a season it's been. What a season it's been. We obviously had that fantastic 12-match winning streak where you just thought, when are we going to lose? We eventually did lose to Newport at the end of November, and we had a really tricky period with injuries, and Challoner dealt with that. County as a team, as a football club, they dealt with that and they found their way through it, and we've managed to at the end find form at the perfect time, and that's it. We're champions. We've gone up. Yes, we got ourselves in a position where we almost had to in the end. Obviously today we knew that we needed 3 points from the remaining 3 fixtures. We've done it the first time I'm asking, which is absolutely fantastic, and obviously it does help us going into Saturday now. Third title in 6 seasons, unbelievable stuff. Yeah, and the important thing to remember as well is, obviously that first one in 2019 was before Mark Stock took over, but these two in his time, 4 years at the club when he took over in January 2020, 2 titles have been delivered. Not just 2 promotions, 2 titles. And that's a massive thing for him. Obviously, he'll know that he's put a lot of money in, put a lot of trust in people, and it's obviously paid off. Obviously, the decision to bring in Challoner after the I suppose poor appointment of Simon Rusk, that's paid off because Challoner didn't even take a full season in charge before he brought success to Edgeley Park. Then you look at his second season, playoff final, so unlucky to miss out on penalties. His second full season, title delivered. So absolutely fantastic for everyone involved. And I'm wanting to read the comments, but I'm still watching SCFC Live, where you can see the scenes. Paddy Madden with that hat-trick ball tonight as well, absolutely fantastic. A hat-trick within the first 40 minutes, and I said it before, I said it pre-match. I'm sure he'll still have a lot to offer. I'm sure he'll do something tonight, and he did just that. That hat-trick, that getting us 3-0 up, that really played a massive part in us getting a foothold in the game. And Guard of Honour at Wrexham, well, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that now. We'll get a Guard of Honour against Accrington, won't we? By the Accrington players at Edgeley Park on Saturday. But yeah, Guard of Honour at Wrexham would be absolutely fantastic. We know how much Wrexham have hoped that they would win the title themselves this season. They never really looked like they were that close to it, to be honest. County were always top of the table from sort of September, October onwards. We've had that position pretty much nailed down until around March, and we quickly took it back as well. So we've deserved this, to be honest. I know there was a point in the season where it looked like it wasn't necessarily going to happen in terms of the title, but we've managed to secure it. Obviously, Saturday was a big result for us. It took the pressure off us going into the last few games, and obviously sealing it tonight. First time of asking, it takes a lot of pressure off the players for the remaining 2 games, and it means we can enjoy the remaining 2 games without feeling like we're waiting to celebrate. We can celebrate now. We know we're going up. We're going up as champions, and absolutely fantastic. Saw a stat the other day that said County have finished in a higher league position for 10 consecutive seasons. Wouldn't surprise me. That might have been, was that on Sky Sports when they're talking about when Challoner had the interview yesterday, possibly, because I'd seen the record. It was absolutely fantastic, and he's absolutely fantastic. I'm lost for words, to be honest. Then again, I was before, and that's because I was hungry. So it's not the first time I've been lost for words today. But yeah, what a season it's been. What a season it's been. And I'm looking forward to going there on Saturday now, knowing that we can celebrate. The last two games today, certainly Saturday, felt like you're just waiting for that final whistle so you can confirm your spot. So you can confirm you've gone up and you can celebrate. Everyone was just waiting to celebrate on Saturday, and I imagine it was the same today. I mean, certainly at half time, once we knew we were probably going to win the game, pretty much going to win the game. Certainly thought let's just get to full time. And obviously it'll be 11 seasons next year in League One. Incredible growth as a club. Look, we've gone on leaps and bounds over the last few years, and it's absolutely fantastic for those people. And they were talking about in commentary near the end of the game, the people that had stood by this football club when it was on its knees. The people that, as I say, could have easily left. The people who probably weren't being paid wages at some points and just doing it out of the pure love for the football club. Turn on off now. Absolutely fantastic, and that's the people who deserve it the most. Those fans who kept going and they go into all kind of places. That's the ones who I really feel tonight. Fair play. You're getting what you deserve because you sat through some absolute rubbish, and absolutely fantastic. And I think what's even more brilliant about this is there'll be young people now, kids or whatever, who might have seen the title 2 years ago. They see the title this season, and they're going to want to. Inevitably they're going to want to, support County because they see it as a club on the up. They see it as this is a club that's going somewhere. And like I say, 2 titles in the last 2 years, absolutely fantastic. When you look at where we were, and I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on it because there's people who know it better than me, and I think I should respect that. But you see behind me there, that's the championship from 2 years ago. I'm hoping they're going to do one this year. But that's it, two championships, in 2 years, absolutely fantastic. And you do inevitably start to look forward to League One, and you start to ask yourself, where are we going to end up in League One now next season? But yeah, everyone who's in, don't forget to obviously like the video as well. Appreciate the comments that were coming in, live before the game as well. Thought it was very interesting conversations taking place. Stuart Ryan says, "Yippee!" Yeah, I think everyone's feeling that at the moment. It's all about investment now. I think they're prepared for that. County. I don't think there's any doubts about that. Bring up the pop-up chat. County won the league comfortably in the end. Still 2 games to go, and County have done it. Looking forward to going to the match on Saturday now. I'm going to be in the very away end. Well, hopefully it's good weather for you, because I remember last season, final game of the season. I know Saturday isn't the final game of the season, but it's the final home game of the season. We played Hartlepool, which was the actual final game of the season last season. It was absolutely chucking it down ours in the railway end, and obviously we didn't get the result that we wanted. But you look back on them memories and you go, you know what? That's what today's all about. It's we've managed to go and do one better than last season. I was there when County won the Division 4 Championship in 1967. But that's absolutely fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic, Roger. And I was just going to say, this is the first time County have won an EFL title since the 1966-67 season. I'm pretty sure. So, to do it, it's 50 odd years. So it's absolutely fantastic. What are the aims for next year? Do you think just consolidation? But it's funny actually because we weren't doing all this when we went up for the National League, and I wish I had been doing it then. But I think when we went up to League Two, I was like, look, I'll take 12th place. I'll take just being steady mid-table. I'll take that first season. Let's just solidify ourselves. And now obviously we nearly got in the automatics last season. So you look at County, and obviously we're biased, but you look at it and go, are we maybe better than mid-table next season? Because we didn't spend any money last summer really. It was all loan deals and free transfers. So there's money there to spend, I think, obviously the money we would spend this summer and the money we would have spent last summer, because I think we didn't spend it because we knew we had enough about ourselves to go without spending too much. So that tells me there's going to be a lot of money to spend in the summer. So I think we should have the money to get in good players alongside the players that we've already got. So then you start to ask yourself, well, okay, if that's the case, then we've probably got a good opportunity to possibly get in near the playoffs or the playoffs next season in League One. And again, that's a possibility, not an expectation. So going back to the question, consolidation, you get teams who go up to the Premier League and they're talking about getting to 40 points, don't they? And then, let's see what happens after that. And obviously Ranieri said that with Leicester, 40 points. Let's get to 40 points today, and then they went on the title. I'm not saying County going to do anything like that, by the way, but I'm just saying, I think our aim should be consolidation, but actually, if we get it right, we can do a lot more than that. I think Wrexham will play a full strength team. They want second place after Mansfield won. I've not even looked at results elsewhere, to be honest, today. I hope everyone can hear me all right as well. Yeah, I've not looked at the results elsewhere because we were doing our job. So I've not looked. Mansfield won, brilliant for them, I suppose. Wrexham obviously didn't play today; they play Saturday. Wrexham fans won't be happy about Langstaff getting that goal though. I'll tell you that much. I think there's a bit of a gap between them now in the top goal scorers list. I think five goals between them now. I think I think it was his 28th goal in League Two this season for Langstaff today. So yeah, I mean obviously, we want to be positive. We've just gone up, but actually, let's just talk about the game for a small amount of time. Obviously 4-0 up, absolutely brilliant, and you're thinking, how many is this going to be? And then they get it back. They get it back to 4-1, 4-2, and you're thinking, a bit nervy now because they've got 2 goals in like 5 minutes, so it's getting a bit worrying. And as I say, Ethan Pye steps up with that fantastic header and a brilliant cross as well from Louis Barry because he missed the penalty, and it was a massive disappointment that. And to be honest, I know people go, "Oh, you're just saying that." When Louis Barry picked up the ball to take the penalty, he didn't look confident at all, and I just turned around and said, "Look, he's going to miss this." I didn't want him to, but I just had that feeling. And in the end, he was unlucky because it bounced from post to post, didn't it? But yeah, I could just tell it wasn't going to be his day in terms of scoring that penalty. And obviously, and then I watched and he missed. But I think he made up for it with that brilliant cross into Ethan Pye. So absolutely fantastic about that. I was there in 1991. Absolutely fantastic. Well, this is another brilliant memory for you. I am 80 and I've watched County since 1958. Well, fair play to you. I mean, how far does this rank in terms of your memories then? Because I imagine you have quite a story to tell. Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the question. How would you rank it in your favourite memories of Stockport County? Because it's got to be up there, hasn't it? Because it's a title winning, at the end of the day. But I'm sure you've seen some brilliant players over the years, so fair play to you on that. I think County are going to be more ambitious than mid-table. Stockport as a place and as a football club is really going somewhere. Well, I certainly hope that's the case. And as you say, you touch on it. You touch on it there. Not just as a football club, but as a place. I think that the takeover of County and also the money that's being put in the area, that it's almost kind of all happened at the same kind of time, which I think is interesting. Obviously, we know that a lot of money's been put into the local bus station. That's just been finished recently. Not that necessarily has anything to do with County, but obviously it does help people who are trying to get to County, I suppose, for away fans and that, and even home fans who have to use public transport. Forest Green down, yet relegated. Not much going on elsewhere. Keep up the good work. Really enjoyed your videos this season. Thanks for that. I'll keep doing them, and hopefully I can make them better and start doing more different types of stuff as well, because I'm enjoying it. And obviously the aim is always to get better, so hopefully we'll have more of this coming up next season as well. I think mid-table is our short-term aim. Avoid the drop, and above is a bonus time in which we improve the team. Yeah, that's kind of my way of looking at it. Let's just try and stay in the league, because look at Carlisle. They beat us in the playoff final, and where are they at the moment? So it's not about rushing to try and get as high up the ladder as you possibly can. If that ladder isn't stable, it doesn't matter if you get to the top, because you're quickly going to fall back down. So I think that's the thing about it, really. Let's try and climb up the ladder, but let's make sure that ladder is stable before we try and climb too high. I think that's a really good way of putting it, which I just come up with off the top of my head. Anyone know how County went on? I think they might have won. Actually, a positive for me today was that the County player seemed to work fine for me, actually better than ever. So I don't know what was going on with that, but let me know how was it working for you, the County player, because it worked fine for me. I hadn't having issues, so hoping that was the case with everyone else. What games are you looking forward to next season for Blackpool away? Well, that's one, isn't it? Wigan, I'd like. I mean, saying this, I had Premier League years on the other day, and you look down, you look at the table down the years, even recently, where you've had maybe in the last 6-7 years, you've had teams like Stoke, Huddersfield. You look at them and you go, they were Premier League teams 6-7 years ago. Both of them could potentially be in League One next season. So you look at it and go, there's quite a few ex-Premier League teams which are going to be in League One next season, or not. Might end up going back up to Championship, unfortunately, like Bolton and that. But so yeah, I'm sure there'll be some brilliant away days as well. I'm looking forward to that. How many did we take? I think it was around 1,100 in the end. How many seasons before we get Champions League football? I thought you were going to say Champions League football. Well, I mean, I don't know how possible that is, to be honest. I think the budget that Mark Stott will have, I think it probably stops at the Championship. I think the money in football, I think he'll really struggle to take us much further than the Championship, to be honest. And I think that's why the plan was Championship football by 2027, because I don't know if they've got the finances to take County much further than that. In terms of Champions League football, I mean, Manchester United can't manage that at the moment. Aston Villa, could potentially be getting in that. Newcastle, look at the investment they've got. They're struggling to get in it at the moment. So it's going to take some doing to get up to the Premier League and Champions League. But look, I mean, tonight we're just going to celebrate. We can go a bit mental. You know what? I'm going to answer that question. How long till we get Champions League football? It's 2024 now. Let's say 2034. Champions League football by 2034 at Edgeley Park, and we'll have the stadium done by then as well. At least 3 years in League One. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Bournemouth, they nearly went into, was it I forget my words out, administration 2008, 2009 kind of time roughly. By 2015, they went in the Premier League. So you could go on a dramatic rise like that. Luton Town have done something, fairly similar. That I think it took them more sort of 10 years from National League. But the Premier League, the problem is, I think that it is a possibility at some point that County could get there. And I know that sounds ridiculous on the face of it, but then you look at teams like Luton and Bournemouth over the last few years, and you look at the size of the stadiums, you look at the size of the football club, and you go, are County really that far off them? Really? Maybe budget wise because of investment, but. That could easily happen to County. Wasn't expecting that scoreline. No, I went with 2-1 County, so I was wrong after about half an hour. What a name. Hope you what a game. Hope you logged in okay. Apart from the few jumps, a fine stream. It works perfectly fine for me, to be fair. Best it's ever been for me. So they've obviously booked their ideas up. Would you take Langstaff at County? Yes, I think we'll sign him. I've read 2 comments in one there. 100%. He's a finisher, isn't he? Look how many goals he's got in a struggling side this season. And for me, that's something you've got to look at and go, fair play. This is someone who can get goals. Can he do it in League One? Probably. So why not? It depends on the price, doesn't it? Don't know how long's left on his contract. All these kind of things, which I'm sure County will be looking at. But yeah, Langstaff, why not? Why not give it a go? Wootton possibly could go. I mean, I think he could have a hat trick of tap-ins tonight, in my opinion. And he just didn't make the most of it. 1994 fans from Stockport. 1,994 fans from Stockport. Yeah, fair enough. Sarcevic showed what dilemma is. Sarcevic showed what dilemma. I'm reading this wrong. Is about new contract, class on his day, but picks up injuries. He's been a little bit injury plagued this season, to be fair, though, Sarcevic, hasn't he? But I thought he was. I mean. Decent goal from him tonight as well, and I do like him as a player, so I'd like to see him stay at County, to be honest. Jim Gannon deserves recognition for the part he played in reviving the club fortunes as both player and manager. He stuck by the club when there was little resources available. Yeah, but that's coming from Dave. I think hopefully that's the same Dave that was making them kind of comments on Saturday night, because I was saying this about this. Jim Gannon won't necessarily get the credit that he deserves from this, because he's not here at the moment. But I think we've got to look at what he's done for the football club, because if he didn't steady Stockport County as a football club and get them up from the National League North in 2019, then Mark Stott might not have ever looked at County as the right football club to buy anyway. I know he comes from locally anyway, but. It would have been more of a risk to buy County at that period in time. So I think you've got to look at it from that point of view as well. So fair play to Jim Gannon, and hope I'd love to get his thoughts on the current situation, to be honest. Agree, Dave. Yeah, I think we're all sort of agreeing on that, to be honest. But as I say, I'll continue to read out the comments. But as I say, we've got quite a few people tuning in, which is obviously fantastic. So I want to get all your thoughts in the comment section below. Obviously, people who are new to the channel, try and like the video, try and get subscribed if you're new. We do this kind of thing quite regularly. So yeah, do check it out. My top 3, being at Chesterfield in 97 when we got promoted into the new Championship, Wembley 2008, and all the Wembley games 92, 94. Wembley 08 is probably the one I remember the most. Not that I was there, but I remember them going up, and I remember obviously it was a bit of a bit of a disappointing time, wasn't it? Because we got promoted against Rochdale, and then the money seemed to dry up, and obviously we had to let a lot of our better players go, which was obviously quite sad. My brother was actually there that day. Little me at little me at the time, I think it was 6 or 7, wasn't a massive fan of football, believe it or not, and didn't end up going. I wish I had now, especially as I went to Wembley last year with him, and we lost. Saul Menon was on BBC Radio Manchester. I think he's really pleased. Well, we're talking about people who have stuck by this football club, people who have been good servants to this football club. Sam Menon has definitely been that as well. I think you can definitely put him in that category. And I remember going to County quite a few times during the period of time which he was at the club, and I always thought he was a standout player. So fair play to him. And I don't want to be down on the night, but I don't think Barry should have took the penalty with his ring rust. Sarcevic wouldn't, or Connor Evans. Well, look, I mean, everyone's going to look at this differently tonight. Some are just going to be celebrating. Some are just not even going to be thinking about tomorrow. Some of us are going to be thinking about missed penalties, which is why it's brilliant that everyone's got their own opinions. And yeah, for me, I could tell straight away that he didn't look right when he was stepping up for the penalty, and it wasn't a surprise to me that he missed it. But he, like I say, he did recover it with that brilliant cross into Ethan Pye. So I think all's forgiven. But obviously, it's easy to forgive him because we know that we all went on to win. But I suppose if we went on to end up drawing the game or losing the game, we might look at it and go, bloody hell, you should have scored that penalty. So I think, Ethan Pye has saved him, I suppose. That's one way of looking at it. I don't know what's going on with the Champions League game. It was all kicking off before, but to be honest, I've not even really glanced eyes on the Champions League game because full focus has been on this County game tonight. Because just when I thought about switching off and I thought we've done it, we're 4-0 up. Notts County suddenly give us a game of football to watch again. So they certainly made it interesting near the end for us. Evans was class tonight. Yeah, I thought he brilliant, playing right back a lot of the time. Not really his best position, but he's doing a job there. Obviously, even on Saturday, he got put to the right hand side as well. So I thought that was interesting. Sam was my favourite player in the non-league days. Gannon yesterday, man, look to the future now. Gannon ain't coming back. No, he's not. But I think we have to respect what he's done for this football club. And as I say, we're talking about people who've been at this football club, like the chairman and that. I believe who've stood by this football club when it was on its knees. Jim Gannon's part of that. I mean, he's been at the club 2 or 3 times as a manager, and like I said, County probably aren't the proposition that they were to Mark Stott when he bought them. If Gannon didn't stable them over them for sort of 2 or 3 years before they were bought, 2 or 3, 4 years. Does anyone think the players will be sober on the pitch on Saturday? To be honest, I'm not that bothered if they're sober or not. I think they can be as drunk as they want because they deserve it. And to be honest, I think watching them play drunk would be quite fun. But I still think that think that Paddy Madden drunk would play a lot better than Cal Wootton. And what I would say is Cal Wootton is very good at falling to the ground and pulling himself onto the opposition anyway. So I wonder how comical it would be to watch him after about 10 or 15 pints. Do you think Dave Chandler will put a strong team out on Saturday now that we've won the league, or will he be tempted to give fringe players a go? I'd like to see a mixture of players, to be honest, on Saturday. I'd like to see players that haven't really had an opportunity this season. We're talking about players like Ben Knight, Reece Bennett, these kind of players. But I think at the same time, you've still got to have your some key players out, because at the end of the day, people are still paid 20 odd quid for for a match ticket. Some people might have travelled to County who don't normally go to the games, to watch this game, because maybe it's the only one they could get to. So I think you've got to respect the fans a little bit on that, and still try and field some strong players. But I mean, potentially it's a good opportunity to maybe possibly put Jordan Smith in goal. I think that's his name, is it? Yeah, Smith. Jordan Smith. I don't know if his name is Jordan Smith now. The backup keeper, anyway, Smith. Put him in goal because I think we've got to start looking at a backup keeper who could potentially fill the gloves for Hinchliffe going forward, and that might be an opportunity on Saturday. So I'd like to see a mixed and rotated side on Saturday, but I think it's important we still have some key players. Thoughts on Ryan Crosdale? Will we keep him? He's not played in a long time, and his contract is running out. Not least, we are looking at someone better, but he goes around his business really well. I think he'll probably be gone, to be honest. I don't think everyone's the biggest fan of him on this channel either, to be honest. People who seem to speak about Crosdale, I've not heard anyone really have too much of a good word about him. Yeah, Jordan Smith, backup goalkeeper. Yeah, thanks to that, I'm delighted I got that right because I thought it was Jordan Smith. And if my memory is correct, we also have someone in like the medical department with exactly the same name, which must be confusing around Carrington. Um, who I forget my words out. Who have we missed? Who have we won 5-2? Who cares? Yeah, fair enough. I think I get what he's trying to say there. Crow's now not quick enough for League One. I'm sure he's just copied and pasted that comment from before, but fair enough. As a player, Jim was brilliant. Sees his performance in the 5-2. As a player, Jim was brilliant. Sees his performance in the 5-2 away cup win at Sheffield United 96-97. Before I was born, to be honest. But yeah, maybe I'll have to go back and look at it. To be honest, I was actually watching an old clip the other day. I think it was the Ian Dowie own goal against County. Views on Bristow staying next season, Rob. Good going forward, but was iffy defensively. I thought he struggled near the end of the game twice. So I don't know if he got a knock or something, or he's just absolutely exhausted. But he kept going to ground very quickly, and I don't know if it's just, as I say, down to a knock he's picked up, or just that he's absolutely knackered. But that might be a worry on Saturday. So I wouldn't be that surprised to see Bristow not involved on Saturday, particularly from the start. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the score, but it's on the advert, so I don't know. I don't know if Barcelona have got it back or not. Who will win the playoffs? I still think Doncaster Rovers. No idea, to be honest. I mean, if I have a quick look at the league table and how it's set up at the moment, just getting it up here. MK Dons are a strong shout. Doncaster are not quite in it yet. They're a few points off yet, so I'd look at it and go, MK Dons probably possibly got that quality. They seem to be playing good football. I know we beat them quite convincingly in the end, but I don't know. I think they might have a chance. Hopefully Barry gets 45 against Accrington. Well, he's been playing in half an hour cameos, hasn't he, recently? So it'd be nice to see him start the game, but I don't know, I think we're trying to manage him carefully. Rovers in the final, but I thought MK Dons would win playoffs. Yeah, well, I'm with you on that. I think MK Dons they look a decent side, certainly since the manager took over in October. So I'm going to go with MK Dons. Horsfall, an absolute rock again. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant. Unlucky actually not to score today because he hit the crossbar, didn't he, early on, which I thought was disappointing. But yeah, I thought he played really well. The only one thing I would say about Horsfall, again, I suppose we're talking about the negatives, aren't we, on a positive tonight, was I do think he was at fault for, I think it was the first goal because he stepped up, which allowed Langstaff to be on the side. Unmarked basically, which obviously cost us goal, but in the end it doesn't matter because we won the game anyway. PSG won, Mbappe scored a couple and could have got a hat trick, but could have got a hat trick by the way. Oh, okay, good about that. I kind of wanted Barcelona to get it back a little bit. To be honest, in terms of teams abroad, I think Barcelona are kind of always a team I've wanted to do well. I think it would be funny if they were all pissed up. LOL. Yeah, why not? To be honest, why don't they sit in the cheetah and let some of us play? Because I think we'd probably give it a good go at the moment. Miles hopefully gets a start. Well, yeah, and probably going to be his last game. To be honest, certainly at Edgeley Park, I can't see him staying beyond this season. I'd start Richards on Saturday so we can have a proper look at him, possibly re-signing him on loan next season. Yeah, why not? Like I say, one of us could play. I'll go up front. Probably still do better than one. So I'm going to have to end this. He did all right, actually, at one point today. I think he closed down one of their players for Madden to score, so I'll give him that. How many Stockport fans were at Notts County tonight? 1,994, apparently. Thought there would have been more, to be fair. Yeah, Dowie, I was there and went to Upton Park draw. Yeah, fair enough, a long time ago. I don't think they were given any more tickets than that. Okay, fair. Yeah, I'm basically just reading the conversation here. Barry is class. That ball over for the goal, number 5 was class. Yeah, brilliant ball, and I think that's why I forgive him for missing the penalty because he still managed to deliver. Do you think Wrexham will do a decent thing and give us a guard of honour, or be babies about it? The Wrexham fan base, I think, is very up and down. I think there's some really good Wrexham fans, and I think there's some who are just absolutely stupid. There's a really good guy actually on YouTube who does Wrexham coverage, and I don't watch everything he does, but I think what he does is very good. When I have seen it, he seems to be okay, but then you do get some who are just a little bit. But then every fan base has them, don't they? And I think obviously with Wrexham there is that Hollywood vibe about them that we don't always like, and maybe we sometimes look at Wrexham in the wrong way because because of the Hollywood thing and because some of the fans can be a little bit much. So I think some Wrexham fans will be happy to do the right thing, and I think some Wrexham fans will make a big fuss of it, and they're probably the ones you want to avoid, especially on the way, because they'll probably try and cause a bit of trouble. Where am I on this list? Barry's yeah, I read that one out. Cody Johnson to start. He's on loan, isn't he? Yeah. I think he's still on loan at Scarborough Athletics. So I don't know if he can play for County or not. To be honest, be a shame, but I don't think that's possible. I get what you mean about Wootton doesn't score enough goals. It's not just that. I just think last season he seemed to be a lot more, have a lot more of an influence on the side. I just think this season, particularly the last few weeks, whether or not it's down to lack of confidence because he's on a goal drought or what, or whatever. I'm not too sure what's going on with him, but he just doesn't seem to be as good as he was. And I think in terms of League One, when we know it's going to be more difficult, I think we possibly going to have to look at moving him on. I think we should all dress as Deadpool fans for Wrexham. I think we should all dress as Deadpool's foe at Wrexham. Why not? I tell you what. Sky would be lapping it up on the cameras. The local pundit are a nice bunch. They were complimentary tonight about our win. I've not seen them before, but fair play to them. Liam Roberts Wrexham I have watched after we beat 5-0. He can't vlog after anymore, but we won. He said some nice stuff about us. That's what I was on about. Yeah, Liam Roberts. I think he's got a good channel. He's on about 20,000. I think he's trying to go for 25,000 at the moment. To be honest, I'm not really about shouting people out, but if anyone hasn't heard of him before and you want to see an objective Wrexham fan, I'd say that's probably someone to check out. Because he seems to, as I say, he comes across well. I've not watched every video he does, but I sometimes see him and I think they're quite interesting. And again, since he stopped doing his vlogs, I think he's managed to be creative and come up with new ideas to keep the channel going, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Good game tonight. Well done, County. Yeah, well, I tell you what, Notts County gave us a little bit more to look for, a little bit more time gone with at the end, because I thought it was done dusted at 4-0 and then they turned up with 2 goals. So it got a bit more nervy at the end, but yeah, looking forward to Wrexham, because even if it's looking to kick off as usual between us, we'll be chanting "We are going up." But both be chanting "We'll be going up." Yeah, but to be fair, we get to celebrate the title, and I think that's something which Wrexham fans will look at and go, they would have liked to have done that this season. In fact, that's something that I think Notts County would have been a little bit annoyed about. Notts County last season missed out on the title to Wrexham, and then obviously this year they play County in the game which gives County the title. So at the moment, Notts County is the place to be if you want to win the league, because they'll just hand it to you. Liam is fair. Yeah, that's good. That's how it's always come across to me. So I'm glad we're on the same page with that. The old bloke from Wrexham on here looks like Albert Steptoe. Don't know who it is. Must go see it. Yeah, no, that's fine. People to go. That's fine. Thanks for your contributions, Stuart. Always good to have your comments in the chat as well. You've been a loyal supporter of the channel this season. So absolutely fantastic. Delighted with your comments as well, as always. Fair play to Notts County in both games. Yeah, well, they did make it more difficult for us than Morecambe, though, and I said they would. Just obviously we scored a bit more goals than we were expecting to. Wrexham missed out this season to us again. Yeah, well, hopefully we do the double over them. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, like I say, I mean, we've still got Accrington on Saturday to look forward to. It's going to be absolutely bouncing at Edgeley Park. We know that the title's done. In terms of the game itself, hopefully it's still a decent game of football, but more importantly, I think people are more going on Saturday just to be around one another, just for that atmosphere. It's just like a massive party on Saturday, really. I'll tell you about your channel and get you more views. Well, yeah, cheers for that. Always appreciated. That'd be brilliant. Always looking to try and improve the channel, get more people watching. Wrexham have some good fans. The Plonkers are the glory hunters, and you're right about keeping safe there, as some will be fist happy. Like I say, in any fan base, though, we've always got to be careful of that. Like, I mean, I'll give an example. I remember when we played Walsall in the FA Cup a few years ago, last season actually. And as we're walking out, and I walk past where the away fans are, because that's my route home, and some of them were like, I wasn't involved, but some of them were like, trying to cause trouble or whatever. And in my mind after that, I'm thinking, well, that's what Walsall fans like. But actually, that's wrong. There's probably some really nice Walsall fans somewhere. Um, Thoughts on the stewards on Saturday? What, this Saturday or next Saturday? Because last Saturday they might as well not been there. It was just for show, wasn't it? But this Saturday, I think they know. If players on the pitch, if fans are on the pitch last weekend, they're certainly gonna be on the pitch this weekend, especially if there's gonna be a title handed out. Um, won't be any Saturday. No, day off for the stewards. My favourite moment was at the end when the players held up a Stockport flag. It wasn't caught on the stream, but the flag is dedicated to a young fan who passed away a couple of years back. Lovely moment. Yeah, absolutely fantastic, and credit to them with that. I hope the county stream should have got it, and hopefully if there's any picture of it, they can put it out there, because that goes beyond football, that kind of message. So hopefully that gets shared about, and hopefully people respect that flag. That might be the same flag I think they've asked about, and will it be allowed up at Wrexham, which hopefully it will be. I'm sure it will be. This is a Stockport County chance with the right people back in the club to get where we have been. Notts County should hold their heads high. They did play well, but County are top. Whoopee, which I've not quite said with the same enthusiasm as I'm sure you had it as you typed it. But yeah, I mean, they've got the right backing, and I don't want to keep going back to it, but someone said this the other day, like if Jim Gannon had this backing, he would have absolutely been rubbing his hands together. Dave Challoner's got this backing behind, and I'm sure we'll get it right, and that's why I think that next season, I'm hoping we're not in a relegation battle next season. I think it's about consolidation, make sure we don't get relegated, and then push on from that. But like I say, County could even be in the playoffs next season in League One. It's not the expectation, but it's the potential, because like you say, with the right people behind us, which we've got, the right backing, which we've got, things can be achieved very quickly. It's not just about having money; it's about how well you spend it, because that's something that I would say to Wrexham. Fair play to them. They do have, they've spent a lot of money. They've spent, I think they've got record revenues, and then they've also spent the most as well. Like, work that one out. But yeah, but then they've also had to spend it well, so they've brought in good people. And that's half the job sometimes. It's not just having the resources, it's the ability to make the most of them. And County have done that with what they've got. And I think that when you look at it, we didn't really spend any money in last summer. So we've been very smart in the market to get the deals done that we did. Tell you what, not so absolutely box office, but it's never dull watching them. Like I say, they're the League Two Manchester United. And, you just don't know what you're going to get from them. I wonder if Nigel Cover will congratulate County. Well, possibly not. But yeah, it's one of them things, isn't it? Yep, young George Thompson, I'm sure it was an emotional night for his friends and family. Yeah, I'm not as informed on it as I probably should be, but I just want to say, yeah, absolutely fantastic to that family as well, and hopefully they're all enjoying tonight because it is a fantastic night, and I think everyone and anyone who's got any connection to County, that they should enjoy tonight, because these nights don't happen very often, so it's important we make the most of them. Champions again, LA, yeah, echo that. I mean, again, I've not sung it as it's meant to be, but yeah, I mean, it's probably a little bit sad, to be fair. But even when I'm watching it, and I was watching it by myself, I was on a bit of a sing to myself, because you've got to. I mean, you could hear the County fans on the stream, so you just get into it yourself, don't you? Or maybe that's just me. But yeah, absolutely fantastic, the fans that travelled as well. As always, I think County got some absolutely fantastic fans, and particularly away as well, where you can really hear the noise a bit more. I thought Notts played better at County. I think they were playing for more at that point in time, though, and they had Luke Williams managing them, which I think they haven't been the same since he left. And I'm not saying the manager will go in the summer. I don't know what Notts County fans feel about their manager at the moment, but I think they'll make some big changes in the summer, because I don't think they'll be happy with how much, not necessarily the first half of the season, but more the second half of the season, how much they've let the league position slip. So I think there'll be a lot of changes there. And to be honest, with Notts County, they could easily be a team that's challenging in League Two next season, to be in the position that we're in, because you look at, for example, Bradford were a team that were in the playoffs last season. Look at them this season. So if you can fall down that quickly, you can easily build back up that quickly as well. We could have sold it 4 times over. Notts probably worried about allowing thousands of us in. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if they put the tickets back on resale, I would have got 100%. Hopefully they will sign Ibby, LOL. To be honest, he's not that bad, to be honest. He's been all right, I think. I've quite enjoyed him this season. And for the first season, which can be difficult, I think he's done okay. So don't agree with you on that, to be honest. But fair enough, for your opinion, and cheers for the comment. The one word about Stockport County is that they are a family club, and family are always strong. I think that's something that certainly made me want to go to County, because you feel it when you're there, and it's one of them things when you're there, you don't realise how good it is when you're not going, and then you go to a few games, and you sort of get the bug, don't you? You want to go as much as possible, and that I've certainly got that. So I agree with you on that. Not a trace of Hollywood money. Is that with Rex, with Wrexham? Is that a dig at Wrexham, I suppose? But yeah, I mean, just looking at it, I'm tempted to have a look. I mean, what is everyone's favourite away day for next season? I'm just going to remind myself the League One table and have a look at who's in it. And obviously Blackpool could still get in the playoffs, so that might be a away day that might slip away from us. Hopefully it doesn't. Bolton's another one which could slip away from us again. Hopefully it doesn't. I think the good thing is that not both of them can go through now, go into the Championship now. So we should have at least one of them. Then, of course, you've got the opportunity. Wigan, we should be playing next season. I mean, if we just go through the teams in League One, you've got Reading, were recently a Premier League club within the last 10 years. Wigan, recently, within the last 10 years, been in the Premier League, won an FA Cup. Blackpool, been in the Premier League within the last sort of 10, 15 years. Same with Bolton, same with Derby, same with Portsmouth. Some of the size of these football clubs, you can just look at it and go, the quality throughout the Football League, it's like no other. And I don't think Germany, France, Spain, or whatever, I don't think anyone's got a fourth or third division as strong as we've got in England. So that's a big credit to England. Blackpool's first game away will take thousands, probably, yeah. I'm looking forward to Peterborough for reasons, yeah. I think that'll be a good game as well, to be honest. Obviously, Peterborough have recently... did they win the Papa John's Trophy at Wembley? I'm pretty sure they did. So, yeah, I think that could be an interesting one. Obviously, I'm aware of the reasons as to why you would want that game to happen next season, or both them games to happen next season. I'm sure they will. Peterborough currently on 80 points in League One, with a game in hand over Bolton. But goals difference is still in Bolton's favour. So, I think that Peterborough will be in the playoffs. Huddersfield, good chips apparently. There's a Huddersfield fan. I was going to say no. There's a fan who's commented on the channel. I've probably be big in the season actually, and I think he said that obviously he lives in Huddersfield now, so he didn't get to the county games as much as he liked. So I know that he was looking forward to Huddersfield, potentially being able to play Huddersfield next season. So hopefully that can happen for him. That'd be a decent one. Not terribly far away either. I think you can do it on the train from Manchester. So. Be interesting to see, but as I say, I think that we've got a game on Saturday. It's going to be a party-like atmosphere. We know that we're going up as champions, and I think it's just going to be a very interesting summer as well to see what happens. And a lot of people are going to have to be reading the back of their match day programmes at the beginning of next season, because we're not going to have a clue who some of them players are. I think I'm off. Police are looking for my fire stick. Yeah, well, it's going to happen at some point. Are you doing a squad special at the end of the season to discuss the release list? I will be doing anything that comes up around county. I'll try and be on it 100% over the next throughout the whole time. To be honest, even in the off season, anything that comes up, people can let me know if I've missed it, if I'm not talked about already. But I'm sure I'll be trying to talk about as much as possible. Try and keep this channel going even throughout the summer if people are still interested in football news throughout the summer, because I think it's important to have that that sort of update on your football club. And in the lower leagues you don't really get that the same, and I think once the season's over it's pretty much dead for 2 months. So I'll be looking to try and keep people in the loop as much as possible, but obviously I've not got information really apart from stuff that I read, so I'll try and do the best with it, and hopefully people are still interested in keeping up with stuff over the summer. But yeah, I think it's getting later and later. I think obviously it's been a fantastic night where we have sealed up the title, which I think we'd expected to do. As I say, Championship behind me. Hopefully there's another one coming out soon, and I'm sure I'll try and get my hands on that, as I think many other people will. But yeah, it's all about Accrington now. It's all about that, getting through, not getting through, but getting to that last home game of the season, enjoying that, and then obviously being able to lift that title, which I think will be absolutely fantastic. And I will be there with the match day vlog to get all that out. So hopefully people who are going to go are going to enjoy that as well. But for people who can't go for whatever reason, there will be the vlog on this channel to keep an eye on. So thanks to everyone who obviously has been part of this stream as well. Thanks to everyone who's commented as well. Everyone who's supported the channel through the season. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Been absolutely fantastic, the support that I've had. Obviously like the video as well. And yeah, as I say, big game on Saturday now, final home game of the season. That we'll have that title lift, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm just glad it wasn't our last game against. I'm just glad it wasn't our last day game fight out with Wrexham. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to end it there. So as I say, thanks to everyone who has tuned in, and we'll see you on Saturday. I'm sure I'll have a match preview out before now and then as well. So yeah, thanks to everyone who's tuned in, and as I say, hopefully I'll see you on Saturday at Edgeley Park, where we should be lifting that League 2 title. Thanks for watching.